Hey guys, so I just wanted to do an update of the van, let you know how everything's going. I made a video like a month or so ago now. We've got a Ford Transit Connect, a 2013 model. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. Kind of give you a bit of an idea of what this van is. And yeah, this video is just an update since then, show you the changes we've made, yeah, how we've been living in it, and a few like little bits of advice and stuff if you're planning on getting one. So yeah, enjoy the video. Alright, so it's really windy today, so I'm going to try not to go outside. Sort of gives you a bit of an idea. If you've seen our first video, we did have two bikes in there, in the van, but now we've just got the one at the moment. And what I've done is I've actually bought a proper mount, screwed it to the floor, 90 degrees to what you would normally have them mounted at. And that actually allows the bike to tuck in really neatly right up close to the wall. And with the way the pedals sit, if you put them the right way, you can have it right up close to the door as well, so we gain a lot more foot space, which has worked out really good. And then as well as that, I actually built this folding like table. So the original idea was that, you know, we could have the bikes in there and just have this folded out when the bikes weren't in there. But when I put it in, I found that I could actually hide the bike underneath it. So these two things, the table and also the bike mount, went in at the same time, and it just worked out really well. You can buy these folding arms off Amazon. They're only like 15 bucks or something, maybe a bit less. You just basically press that on either side and that can fold right down. I won't do it now because, I mean, honestly, we haven't taken it down since we put it in because it's worked out so perfectly with the bike underneath. Yeah, so aside from that, we bought these two spray bottles. These are like invaluable. That one's got soap in it. It's just Dr. Bronner's with water, and that's just plain water. And so it makes it way easier for doing dishes and stuff like that. Basically, you can just like spray a bit of the soap in, and if you've got Tupperware, like we've got Tupperware up here, you just put the lid on, shake it around a bit, tip it out, then spray it out with water. And the Dr. Bronner's is supposed to be fine for the environment, so you can dip it in the grass and stuff like that and not worry about it. We've moved our water. It was up the front there, but there's a diesel heater now. I'll show you that in a minute. And we moved it to the back. It just fits perfect under the table. Easy access at the back, less cumbersome. So that's worked out really well. Got our 10 or 20, whatever it is, pounds of rice down there that we're making our way through. But this has just worked out perfectly. We mainly use it to cook. So before, when we were in the van, especially when we were doing stealth stuff, where you had to be cooped up and we'd be cooking on the floor. But yeah, now we leave this bike in the back. We don't need to put it in the front anymore, which has made our lives way easier. And then I'm actually going to get another one of these mounts. I've actually already got it. And I'm going to try and fit Taylor's bike in here somehow as well. We probably won't keep it in here all the time, but we're planning on going to Florida soon, and we're going to want both the bikes down there. So that should work out pretty good. A couple of towels here. The green one, you keep one for drying dishes. And the other one's just like an everything towel for like wiping the benches, the floors and stuff like that. Over here we've got our bags of potatoes hanging up. Originally we were buying a lot more veggies, but we just found that they bruise so easily. They get knocked and stuff like that. Bananas are the same. Like, we still buy bananas because Taylor likes them, but they get so bruised up. They're pretty hard to take care of in a van. We used to have one of the large Colemans, but now we actually got this off Amazon. It's actually just a single burner for propane. It was cheap, like 20 bucks. The good thing about it is it actually fits on this little shelf of ours. So yeah, that worked out really well. The old burner, I mean, we never used the two burners. It was really big. The only place for it was behind the seat. And yeah, another reason we got rid of it was because we've now got a diesel heater. So basically what you're looking at right there, that's the tank. Now, I think it's a 10-litre diesel tank. The tank's in the middle of these two pieces of 3/4 or 1/2 inch, I should say, ply. I just did that to sort of tidy it up a bit. We'll probably paint it at some point. This is the control. You got on, off, and then you got your heat. Basically, you just turn that. You might even be able to see that now. That can turn it up or turn it down. Honestly, we've only run it on this lowest setting. It's a 2 kilowatt diesel heater. It's quite small, but honestly, the lowest setting is enough to warm this van up in a matter of minutes. I reckon less than 10 minutes even. In literally like 0 degrees Celsius. It was snowing and we were warm and toasty in here. Highly recommend the diesel heater. It worked really well. I'll probably have to go around the front to show you a bit better how I mounted it. Alright, I got the lighting a bit better now. So here you can see the diesel heater. Now basically, that's it there. It's a 2 kilowatt diesel heater. It's quite small. They're about $130 on Amazon. If you've got a Ford Transit Connect, ours is a 2013 model, if you want it behind the driver's seat, as we have done, you want the 2 kilowatt model. You got to be careful. You've got to make sure it is the smallest one, because often they advertise the 5 kilowatt models as the 2 kilowatt because they know these ones are the most popular. These ones do cost a little more than the 5 kilowatt. I don't know why. Probably because they are more popular. But basically, yeah, it fits perfectly behind the seat. There's plenty of space. You just have to, I mean, I'll make it sound easier than it is, but you just put a couple of holes in the bottom of the floor. Make sure the floor's flat. Fill up any gaps with some high heat silicone. And then you put like the base plate on there, and you basically just stick the diesel heater on and bolt it all up. This end is where the hot air comes from, with the duct on it, and then this end's where the cool air is collected. I probably should have had it the other way around, so I could have had this mounted probably here somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I had some issues installing it, so I had to put it in this way in the end, just because of some mistakes I made. I won't go into detail because I don't feel good about them. And you can see down here, that's the fuel line. Obviously the fuel tank's behind here. Then the fuel goes out and then down. I put the pump outside the car. That's the one downside about these pumps, is they can be loud. So ours is mounted on the bottom. And honestly, like when it's running now, the sound of the pump is fairly quiet, and it's honestly actually kind of pleasant. It's like listening to a nice heartbeat, you know when it's pumping, you're going to be warm. It's a weird thing. It's actually not a bad thing. And then here I actually put a breather in for the fuel tank, because I didn't want it like breathing in the van here, and I just used some of the leftover fuel hose, and I ran that out the bottom as well. That's pretty much the diesel heater. We just wired it into the to our existing setup. All worked out quite well. Another cool thing we've done in the front here, out of some Reflectix, I think it's called, I cut these window insulators. So yeah, it's simple, just cut it out of Reflectix and kind of taped it all together. I basically just held a piece of it up to the window and guessed it as good as I could, and then just kept making it as I went. If you were really keen, you could use cardboard to stencil it. I find that making them slightly oversized works out really well, because they just hold themselves up, because they just sort of slot into the gaps around the windows. And we were worried about how we were going to get them to stay up, but we found that they've stayed up really well. Definitely keeps the van warmer, and it's way more private and lets less light in as well. You can see we've just got a store-bought front one. Another thing we've done with the van is we've actually started leaving the bed hanging out a little further, and we've been putting the the extra cushion back behind this mattress instead of on top of it. And if you've got a Ford Transit and you want any questions, just leave us a comment, and we'll answer them. But we found this to actually be like the perfect size for 2 people as a sort of couch. It's a little bit wider. This is a little bit lower. You wouldn't think it would make much of a difference, but for us it seemed to make a huge difference in how comfortable it was for the 2 of us to just sit on this and just be comfortable studying or just doing whatever when the bed's not extended, I should say. So yeah, if you've got any questions about it, just let me know. We also stuck a couple of just like clothes hooks up here, and that's just used to hang up cutlery and stuff, like kitchen stuff I should say. And I put a towel rack up on the end here as well, just with hooks like that. Honestly, you want hot towels with tags or holes in them so they don't fall off. It's pretty much everything we've done since my last video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video on the update. Yeah, any questions, leave them in the comments. Give us a thumbs up. And yeah, I mean, if this gets as much views as our last video, that'll definitely encourage me to make more van videos. I've been doing some like cycling videos, because that's what I'm into, but I mean, we live in a van, so it's pretty easy to put up van videos. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.